Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best. Both Caitlin, Angel, and Brink, who plays for my Sparks, they made the WNBA better. And they're going to be tested by these incredible women who've been in the league for a long time and still has to play great to become the best WNBA.
On Jimmy Kimmel Live, Magic Johnson just revealed some very startling facts regarding Caitlin Clark. He explained her goodness. However, did you know that the NBA's popularity increased by 800% thanks to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird? Magic is now claiming that Caitlin Clark could benefit the WNBA in the same way. He explained why she's so far ahead of the game on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Let's investigate it. You may be wondering now what the key piece of advice Magic Johnson gave Caitlin Clark. Prepare yourself for this shocking revelation. Magic believes that Clark ought to seek advice from none other than Larry Bird. Yes, you read correctly, Larry Bird, the legendary Boston Celtics player and former bitter rival of Magic. However, why Larry Bird? How does this relate? As it happens, this suggestion is not as simple as it first appears. Magic is more than just calling things names. He has a good explanation for the surprising suggestion. Let's dissect it. Magic shared this pearl of wisdom when he appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Ask him for advice. He could give her great advice on how to handle these situations because he went through it himself. I think Magic is onto something. Bird has experienced the extremes of celebrity, stress, and high standards. He has experienced what it's like to be the center of attention, waiting for you to win them over. This is where the interesting part begins though. It may surprise you to learn that Larry Bird was born and raised in Indiana. Yes, the same state in which Caitlin Clark attends college to play basketball. This connection could make Bird's advice even more applicable and useful for Clark. It's not just a coincidence. Consider it. Bird isn't just any old former player. 3 NBA MVPs and 3 NBA champions are at issue here. When Clark enters the professional league, the man's wealth of information and experience could be invaluable. However, it doesn't end there. Bird has a comprehensive understanding of the game, as evidenced by his transition from player to executive with the Indiana Pacers. He has experienced and witnessed it all, and now he possesses the perspective to support it. A player as young as Clark might find great success with that kind of mentoring. You may be thinking, wait a minute, Magic Johnson's former rival isn't Bird. Why would he advise Clark to speak with his rival? And that's where the tale really shines. Indeed, one of the fiercest rivalries in NBA history existed between Magic and Bird. However, that rivalry eventually gave way to a close friendship and respect. Magic doesn't just pick a name out of thin air when he recommends Bird as a mentor. He's recognizing the importance of Bird's experience and his greatness. What does all of this signify for Caitlin Clark? Then, it's easy. She has access to a potentially priceless reservoir of knowledge and expertise. Reaching out to Bird, as Magic suggests, could provide her with insights that go far beyond the game itself. We're discussing how to handle stress, cope with notoriety, and negotiate the challenging landscape of professional sports. After discussing Magic's counsel for Caitlin Clark, let's examine the reasons behind his belief that she still needs to prove herself. Magic Johnson has a lot of experience breaking through in the league and has some serious advice for Clark. Wait, doesn't everyone already know Clark's amazing? Maybe on your mind. Yes, but Magic sees things differently. He claims that Clark isn't the best WNBA player just yet. Do you recall Magic's and Larry Bird's NBA debut? They weren't immediately the best either. They had to put in a lot of effort and time to become legendary. What is the matter with Clark then? On Jimmy Kimmel Live, Magic revealed the truth, stating, "Larry and I weren't the best when we joined the league. We later rose to the top thanks to our play." Yes, even celebrities like Magic had to work hard to earn their stripes. This is where the interesting part comes in. Magic talked about some of his own inexperience, and believe me when I say that things weren't always easy. Ron Boone, a teammate, gave Magic a harsh welcome on his first practice day. Magic replied, "Ron Boone hit me hard behind the neck saying, 'Take that, rookie.' Hurt. A real wake-up call, that is." But did Magic give up? Not at all. A few plays later, he roared back. What followed was, you guessed it, all the Laker players came running up to me and hugged me, said, "We like you," Magic recalled. Folks, that's how you get respect in the major leagues. What does Caitlin Clark's future hold now? And Magic has some words of wisdom for her as well. He claims that because she is receiving so much money and attention, experienced players will put her to the test. The shocking part, though, though, is that Magic believes Clark shouldn't have to handle these difficulties by himself. Her teammates need to stand up for her. He declared, she cannot be forced to fight every battle. It's not just about your skill level on the court, you see. It's about establishing your worth in the eyes of your teammates and the league at large. Magic is intimately familiar with this. He was awarded an enormous $25 million contract following his rookie season. Some players were a little sour towards that kind of money. The fact that a rookie was making that much money infuriated them. So what should we really learn from this? There is no denying Caitlin Clark's skill set, but in Magic Johnson's opinion, she still needs to improve if she wants to be the best player in the WNBA. It's not enough to just post impressive stats. It's about being respected, maintaining your integrity, and proving that you are one of the elite. After witnessing Magic's counsel for Caitlin Clark and the difficulties she may encounter, let's discuss what truly makes her unique. Not only did Magic Johnson offer Clark some advice, but he also disclosed the reason behind her extreme superiority. However, what does he mean precisely by that? What unique quality gives Clark his uniqueness? Magic expressed his opinions candidly on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Surprise of surprises, he said, Caitlin is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Hold on, what? How is she the most well-liked person but not the best? That's where the interesting part starts though. As you can see, Magic is referring to more than just on-court abilities. He is considering the wider picture. Star power is a difficult concept to quantify, but Clark possesses it. We haven't seen people talking about women's basketball like this before because of her. Do you recognize this? It ought to, given that's precisely what Magic and Larry Bird accomplished for the NBA in the past. The thing is though, that popularity isn't the only factor. Something about Clark reminds Magic of his own journey. He discussed publicity and veteran testing that he and Larry Bird had to deal with. Clark is currently dealing with the same issues. It feels like the same things have happened before, only in the WNBA. What then is the recipe's secret? What distinguishes Clark from others? Although Magic didn't explicitly state it, we can infer it from the context. It's how she affects the game. He stated that both Caitlin, Angel, and Brink that he made the WNBA better. And that is very significant. Clark is altering the game, not just participating in it. Consider it. How many new players enter a league and improve it right away? Few. However, Clark is already doing so. She's increasing the number of people who watch women's basketball, attracting new fans and motivating her teammates to play better. Do you recall how Magic and Bird changed the NBA? The league reached new heights thanks to their excitement and competitiveness. Clark is now carrying out the same action for the WNBA. She's a game changer, not just a player. This is where things get really interesting though. Magic is challenging her in addition to complimenting Clark. He's stating, you've got the popularity, now prove you're the best. He seems to be giving her a roadmap on how to convert her star power into long-lasting greatness. There's no denying that Clark has her completely in his sights. She no longer plays for herself alone. She is participating for women's basketball's future, and we might be watching the making of a legend if Magic Johnson is correct. After hearing Magic's assessment of Caitlin Clark's potential, let's discuss the difficulties she will encounter in the WNBA. Magic Johnson didn't mince words. He is aware that the journey ahead won't be simple. What precisely is Clark up against though? And how is she going to get past these challenges? To begin with, Magic made it apparent that Clark would be put to the test. Veterans are going to test you, he declared. It's not only about showcasing your abilities on the court. Proving your eligibility for the major leagues is the goal. Recall when Magic talked about his own inexperience as a rookie. On his first practice day, a veteran player gave him a hard hit. Clark might encounter a welcome similar to that. The thing is though, that physical toughness is not the only factor. Equally crucial is mental toughness. When Magic discussed his reaction to that hard hit, he made this point very clear. He didn't give up, rather he offered what he could. That's the mindset Clark may need to take on. What does this signify for Clark then? She must therefore be prepared for anything. Maybe more experienced players will try to scare her. They could use more force against her. They may even attempt to penetrate her mind, but she must not back down if she is to succeed. Are you asking yourself, does Clark have to face all of this alone? At this point, the good news is that Magic says she shouldn't have to. Caitlin, her teammates need to stand up for her. He said, she cannot be forced to fight every battle. This is very significant. It implies that Clark's accomplishments are more than just a result of her own work. It all comes down to how well her team backs her. Consider it. I take it that basketball is a team sport. It follows that Clark's teammates ought to support her. However, it goes beyond what occurs on the court. It's important to establish a positive atmosphere off the court as well. Coaches, mentors, and even team owners can help with that. Magic is intimately familiar with this. He attributes his success off the court to his mentor, the late Dr. Jerry Buss, the owner of his former team. For Clark to successfully navigate the difficulties of being a professional basketball player, this kind of support system may be essential. The crucial question is this though: how will Clark manage with all of this pressure? She has a lot of hype heading into the league. She's already quite well known, but that doesn't automatically make her the best player, as Magic pointed out. She still needs to demonstrate her abilities in court. Let's discuss Magic's advice for Caitlin Clark's future in women's basketball now that we've seen it. Magic painted a picture of what's possible, not just some advice. What then is the big deal? Apparently, Clark is no longer just thinking about herself. She is giving the entire game her all. Consider it. Clark, according to Magic, is currently the most well-liked WNBA player. That is very significant. He added, though, that she's not the best just yet. For the league, what does that mean? It implies that we are witnessing the making of history. Clark has the opportunity to elevate the NBA to a whole new level, just as Magic and Bird did. The thing is, though, that it goes beyond Clark. It has to do with what she stands for. She's giving women's basketball new life, excitement, and opportunities. How do you feel? Is Clark the WNBA's future? Tell us in the comments below.